All right, guys, it's Thursday, April 4th, 2019, and that can only mean one thing. Stick around for your Thursday BTC fishing forecast. All right, guys, let's jump right to it. But before we talk about the weekend forecast, let's give the weekly report. Fishing this week was better, okay? The salinity's starting to get improve. The spillways being closed, the water clarity, water conditions are starting to get better. Now, I didn't say great, and I didn't even say good. I said better, okay? So what that means is I'm starting to see fish where I feel like I traditionally should this time of year. And whether you're on the east end of the Mississippi Gulf Coast or the west end, inshore fishing, it's no secret. We're talking about bridges. We're talking about the nearshore reefs. We're talking about any hard bottom structure, jetties, rock piles, oyster reefs, so forth. The same mixed bag this time of year, no matter where we're talking about, east or west. Sheephead, drum, redfish, speckled trout. Live bait, shrimp is the bait of choice right now. And I see that pattern continuing for at least a few more weeks while the water continues to get better and better. Okay, now with that being said, I did hear some reports of a little bit slower sheephead bite in the Biloxi area this past week, but I like to think that's a isolated or maybe a temporary situation, because the sheephead bite was kind of late this year. So I'm hoping that means it's going to last a little longer. We're still catching big spawning sheephead. 7 to 10 pounds isn't uncommon, and I really think that pattern is going to last for at least 2 more weeks, if not till towards the end of the month is what I'm hoping. So we're still seeing those fish. Now, I'm also hearing on that end of the coast, I've got some pretty reliable trip reports on some decent speckled trout bites. Now, they're having to catch numbers to catch keepers, and what I mean is you're catching a lot of 12 to 14 inch fish, and you're keeping a handful of legal fish inside of that. But I'll take those numbers. If I can catch 12 to 14 inch fish and end up with enough to take home for dinner that are legal sized, I'm happy with that. Okay, that's a win-win for me. So, and I think it's only going to get better as the water gets a little better and the temperature comes up a few more degrees, and that's just going to make everything the way it should be. Now, the elephant in the room. Okay, I've gotten several emails and phone calls this week about the same thing. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Cobia. And guys, I'm sorry, but they're just not here yet. It's not quite time. We've got a few more weeks before that happens, and I promise we will talk about it here, but it's not a secret, okay? Those fish migrate from Florida to us, and you can almost track it using the internet and social media. You'll know Panama City, then Destin, Orange Beach, Dolphin Island, and finally over towards Horn Island and Mississippi waters. Okay, it's going to happen that way. That's the way it always happens. So we'll talk about it. But while you do have cobia on your mind right now, and I'm just as excited as you are, maybe it's time to go ahead and get that gear out, clean it up, re-spool any rods. Do it while you're thinking about it, so you're not in a mad rush when you finally hear the first fish being caught on the bar. It's going to happen, so go ahead and get ready for it. All right, so now let's do our forecast. Today was pretty bad, guys. We had up to 5 inches of rain on the Mississippi Gulf Coast in some areas today. I was in New Orleans at one point today, and they were shutting down streets. There was so much rain. So unfortunately, we have more rain in the forecast tomorrow on Friday. 70 to 80% chance of continued rain, thunderstorm activity. Saturday, it's finally clearing out rain-wise. Winds pick up a little bit, but I think Saturday, I'm hoping will be fairly decent and fishable for us. And then Sunday, we have once again more thunderstorm activity, rain, and it looks like the winds are going to pick up to around 20 knots or so. So make sure you're in protected waters if you do go. And just remember, guys, these late season fronts and systems are very hard for the weatherman to successfully predict. And I can't tell you how many times I saw 70 or 80% chance of rain only to wake up to no green on the radar. So, kind of take it with a grain of salt and monitor the weather closely if you intend to go fishing, and don't risk it over a fish. If it looks sketchy, stay close to home. All right. Well, that's about it for this week. And if you have any questions or you want anything specific talked about, don't hesitate. Shoot me an email. Hit me up at Boat Trash Charters on Facebook, boattrashcharters.com, and don't forget to subscribe, and that way you don't miss any of the reports or forecast.